Welcome back. You're watching NewsMakers 2017, where we at CNBC-TV18 recount all the personalities and companies that made top headlines this year. And in keeping with companies, 2016 saw the country's largest private sector organization make a big bang entry into one of the most fiercely competitive and regulated spaces. But as Ronojoy Banerjee reports, it was only through 2017 that Jio actually began changing the rules of engagement in the Indian telecom space. And for that reason alone, and of course for disrupting the space, Mukesh Ambani is CNBC-TV18's next big newsmaker of the year.
Bundled services, unlimited data, money-back offers, competitively priced 4G handsets, you name it, and Jio's got it. 12 years after Mukesh Ambani reluctantly let go of Reliance Infocom to his younger brother Anil as part of a separation agreement, Mukesh Dharubai Ambani made a grand re-entry into the telecom space towards the fag end of 2016. He did this with a blitzkrieg of free trial service offers that lasted till April 2017. And even before the initial dust could settle, Ambani kicked up another storm or two.
All Indians, without exception, will not only be free from voice and SMS charges, but also from extortionist data charges.
This was both Jio's calling card and its war cry, and heralded one of the quickest consolidation drives in the telecom industry's history. So a year that began with 7 telecom operators is ending with just 3. Such has been the pressure on incumbent telcos that Sunil Mittal believes the sector has had to write off $50 billion in investments due to Jio. But ask Mukesh Ambani, and his approach has been akin to what's a few billion among friends.
Sunil is a good friend of mine, he's not a rival. Right?
A business rival?
I don't think of businesses in terms of... the second piece is, I think that again, what he said and what I think you are interpreting is different. But just to make my point of view clear, I think that for all of us within industry, right, profits and losses are risks that we take.
It is this stance Jio has fallen back on every time it has been attacked by other players, either directly or through the regulator. This is also what Jio has wielded as a weapon every time it has had to seek regulatory aid to ensure that the ever-increasing line of customers at its doors get those services as promised. But what about Reliance's investors who have had concerns about the eventual cost of such freebies and low costs?
Jio's results are declared every quarter now, and you can see the trend, and you watch the next few quarters. You will learn in January and you will learn in March. I don't want to predict, but I think we're ahead of our schedule in terms of the returns that we are generating.
As 2017 winds down, Jio has become the country's 4th largest telecom operator in terms of market share and boasts of well over 125 million customers. If Jio continues to stay aggressive in 2018, and there are no indications that it will not, incumbent players may well see stagnating revenues and declining profitability continuing with or without mergers, leaving Mukesh Ambani the new telecom czar of the country. In New Delhi, Ronojoy Banerjee.
A selfie with all of you. But 2017 wasn't just about big corporate faces. We've had our fair share of newsmakers from the political sector as well. From managing one of India's most powerful mutts to becoming Chief Minister of India's most populous state, Yogi Adityanath has had a remarkable 2017. He was an unlikely choice for the candidature of the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister, but he's managed to keep his hands full for the last 9 months, and his next target is ensuring victory for the BJP in the 2019 general elections. Rituparna Bhuyan and Arif Sherwani report.
लाल फीताशाही से बचने के लिए हम लोगों ने सिंगल विंडो सिस्टम सीएम ऑफिस के ही निर्देशन में उनकी देखरेख में वह प्रारंभ हो चुका है.
This is the monk who became a chief minister, urging India Inc. to invest in the state of Uttar Pradesh. 9 months earlier, when Yogi Adityanath, the 5-time member of parliament from Gorakhpur and the head of the Gorakhnath temple's name cropped up as potential chief minister, it was met with surprise, as was his eventual appointment. But Yogi says the party's decision was not a shot in the dark.
मुझे देश के सबसे बड़े प्रदेश उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में जिम्मेदारी दी है.
After taking over, one of his first moves was to waive farm loans worth 36,359 crore rupees, a move that earned him brownie points with a large portion of UP's vote bank. But not all his decisions were met with widespread approval, especially the banning of illegal abattoirs across the state, which came into force following multiple lynchings linked to the production and consumption of beef across India. Known as a hardline Hindutva leader, Yogi did not hide his leanings. But at the same time, he was seen focusing on recalibrating the state's bureaucracy, which was widely seen as corrupt and inefficient. From banning Gutka in UP's government offices to cracking the whip to ensure regular attendance by officials, his agenda was to make the UP government accessible and result-oriented. State infrastructure was not given the go-by either. Yogi broke an 8-year jinx when he visited Noida to inaugurate a metro project and sent the message that he was willing to go the extra mile to address issues of governance.
आज मुझे खुशी है कि जिस नोएडा के संबंध में एक छवि बन गई थी कि कोई मुख्यमंत्री यहां आ नहीं सकता है, उस मिथक को योगी जी ने बिना बोले अपने आचरण से सिद्ध कर दिया कि ये सब मान्यताएं गलत होती हैं, आधुनिक युग ऐसा हो नहीं सकता, और इसलिए मैं योगी जी को हृदय से बधाई देता हूं.
But by far the biggest controversy Yogi Adityanath has had to deal with is the death of 72 children at a hospital in Gorakhpur due to lack of oxygen. And similarly, yet in this case apparently unfounded accusations following the death of 49 infants at a government hospital in Farrukhabad just days later. Both instances took some firefighting, but on the whole the Chief Minister has emerged without visible scars. He now has the task of boosting the BJP's prospects in the general elections in 2019, which means he has a little over a year to continue honing and working his magic. In New Delhi with Rituparna Bhuyan, Arif Sherwani.
Now, Indira Gandhi became India's first female defense minister when she took charge of the portfolio in 1975 and later on in 1980. But let's also remember that she was India's prime minister on both occasions. So technically the country got its first full-time female defense minister on the 3rd of September 2017 when Nirmala Sitharaman took charge. And for that reason alone, she is our next newsmaker of 2017. Rituparna Bhuyan and Arif Sherwani have more.
When the list of new ministerial portfolios was released by the Prime Minister's office on the 3rd of September, there was a surprise.
I, Nirmala Sitharaman, do swear in the name of God.
Nirmala Sitharaman, who'd spent the first 3 years of the Modi government battling for India Inc. at the domestic and the international levels, was no longer Minister of State for Commerce. Her contribution had been noted and she was moved to South Block as India's Defence Minister. So India got its first full-time lady Defence Minister, and Sitharaman got not just a cabinet portfolio but became a part of the elite Cabinet Committee on Security, which also comprises of the Prime Minister, the Home Minister and the Finance Minister. As she took charge, Sitharaman made her priorities clear.
I shall be Raksha Mantri round the clock. My priority will definitely be the armed forces preparedness.
Sitharaman hit the ground running, and she did something two of her predecessors had not been seen doing. She reached out to the armed forces by visiting defense bases across the country. So she would be at the Indian Air Force forward base at Uttarlai one day, and at Kibitu, the easternmost Indian Army base in Arunachal Pradesh, the next. And at every stop, her interactions were not restricted to just the officers. It was during one of these visits that Sitharaman won over Chinese troops with a charm at the border post of Nathula in Sikkim.
You know what namaste is?
Namaste.
No. Do you know what namaste is?
It's just to say ni hao.
So I say namaste.
Okay, listen. I mean, namaste just ni hao. It's just ni hao.
Namaste.
Ni hao.
Right?
Okay.
In her little over 4 months as Defence Minister, Sitharaman has also hosted several high-profile visitors to the ministry, including James Mattis, USA's Secretary of Defence, who was the first member of the Trump cabinet to visit India. At this meeting, Sitharaman shared India's views on issues of strategic interest, global security, and joint production of defence platforms, but put her foot down on issues concerning India's engagement with Afghanistan. Her message to Mattis was succinct. India will continue to build roads, hospitals and schools in Afghanistan, but it will not send Indian troops to the civil war-ravaged country.
We made it very clear that there shall not be boots from India on the ground.
She has shown that she is as hands-on in her new role as she was in Commerce Ministry, where she won many a victory for India, championing the cause of Indian commerce and trade. But her biggest challenge as Raksha Mantri will be to ensure that Indian defence forces are well supplied and have the latest weapon systems to protect their country, and balance all that with Modi government's key initiatives like Make in India. In New Delhi, Rituparna Bhuyan.
Well, that's about all the time we have on this edition of NewsMakers 2017. Thank you so much for watching. And it just occurred to me that I haven't quite figured out my New Year resolution just as yet. So I know what's going to keep me busy in the first few days of 2018. What about you, Kevin?
Well, Jude, I think a good idea for a New Year's resolution would be to have as productive a year as our Newsmakers of 2017 have had. With that, a very happy 2018 to all our viewers. Many thanks for watching.